A mysterious man approaches you, offering $1,000 if you can make him laugh. What's your joke? The Pope decides to take a cross-country tour across America, beginning in California and ending in New York. Somewhere in the Midwest, the Pope-mobile breaks down, and while it's repaired, the Pope continued his journey with a limousine rental. After a few hours, the chauffeur of the rented limousine rolled down the glass partition, and spoke, "I know I'm not supposed to talk to you, Your Holiness, or Highness, I'm not even sure what to call you." "It's okay, my son, say what you want to say." "Well, when they told me who I'd be driving, I was really thrilled. It's such an honor, and if there is anything I can do to make it a better trip, I'll do my best to make sure it happens." The Pope thought for a while, then replied, "You know, before I became Pope, I really enjoyed driving. I would drive for hours. But now, no one will allow me to drive anywhere. Would you mind if we switched places and I can drive?" The chauffeur agreed and the two switched places. After a while, the Pope became relaxed, turned the radio on, hung his arm out the window, and just enjoyed cruising. However, not aware of his increasing speed, he was soon pulled over by a motorcycle cop. The cop walked up to the limousine, saw who was driving, said, "Excuse me, Your Holiness," for a moment, then returned to his bike and got on the radio. "Chief, I think I have a problem. I believe I pulled over someone pretty important, and I'm not sure how to deal with it." The chief responded, "Don't tell me you pulled over a state representative again, Johnson?" "No, I think this person is more important." "Not our governor?" "No, I believe more important than the governor." "Johnson, tell me you didn't pull over a presidential motorcade." "No, they may be even more important than the president." "What? Really? Who's more important than the president?" "Hell if I know, but the Pope's driving." "How much does a chimney cost?" "Nothing, it's on the house, huh?" You're laughing at your own joke at the end is what got me. Laughing out loud, same. A good pun has to be delivered with the person telling it getting more amusement out of it than anyone else. It's the law. Bob and his grandson are sitting on a bench at the top of a hill overlooking the town. He points to the statue in the center of town and says, "See that statue, boy? I made that statue. But do they call me Bob the Mason?" "No, they don't." He then puts his hand on the seat of the bench they're on. "See this bench? I built this bench with my own two hands. But do they call me Bob the Carpenter?" "No, they don't." He then sighs and says, "But you F1 goat." Allegedly. 3 Western spies were captured and put in a cell in the Soviet Union, an English spy, a French spy and an Italian spy. First they interrogate the English spy, but he refused to speak. So they tie him up and torture him for 2 hours until he finally gives in and tells them everything he knew. Next, they interrogate the French spy who also wouldn't speak, but after 4 hours of torture he also couldn't take any more and told them everything he knew. Finally, they interrogate the Italian, who also wouldn't speak, so they begin to torture him. After 4 hours he still hasn't spoken, so they continue torturing him for hours. After enduring a full 24 hours of torture, they give up and put him back in the cell. The other 2 spies are amazed and ask the Italian how managed to go on for so long without speaking. The Italian replies, "I would have told them everything after just 1 hour, but I couldn't speak because my hands were tied up." As an Italian, I love this one. And yes, it's true. This is my step ladder, I never knew my real one. He raised me all the same. Let's not forget it's the first step that counts. What are you doing, stepladder? Are you stuck? What do you call a sleepwalking nun? A Roman Catholic. A bear and a rabbit are crafting in the forest. The bear turns to the rabbit and asks, "Do you have a problem with poo sticking on your fur?" "No," answered the rabbit. So the bear wipes his butt with the rabbit. Scrolled through all the answers to find one that actually makes me laugh. This was the first. A gay deer walks out of a bar and says, "Man, I can't believe I just blew $50. Love this." Username checks out. Saw this somewhere recently: a priest, a pastor, and a rabbit walk into a blood bank. The nurse or whoever asks the rabbit, "What's your blood type?" I think I'm probably a type O. That is effing brilliant. It was bloody brilliant. What's the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? People in Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but people in Abu Dhabi do. Depending on the delivery, this one could be hilarious. What's the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? People in Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but people in Abu Dhabi are rather fond of it. How did I do? I once saw a man swimming in the sea, frantically waving his arms. "Help! Shark, help!" He was shouting, and I could only laugh. I knew the shark was not going to help him. Edit, spelling. How do you think the unthinkable? With an iceberg. If that doesn't work, here's another one. What's the difference between a toilet paper and a curtain? I don't know. Ah, so it was you. Edit, added the second joke in case the first one fails. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't work? A stick. Edit, my most upvoted comment. Thanks guys. What's brown and sticky? Same answer. My girlfriend's dog died, so I tried to cheer her up by getting her an identical one. It just made her more upset. She screamed at me, "What am I supposed to do with two dead dogs?" Well, you got me. Exhale through nostrils. 3 nuns die and are met by an angel at the gates of heaven. The angel, standing behind a big bowl of holy water, tells them, "If you have sinned, confess." The first nun says, "I touched a penis with my right hand." The angel answers, "Dip your hand in the water, and go on in." The nun does as told and passes through the gates to her afterlife. As the second nun opens her mouth to speak, the third nun interferes, "Can I just gargle some water before this bitch dips her butt in?" Nun jokes? Okay, I got one similar. 3 nuns die and go to heaven. At the gate, Peter is waiting for them and tells them, "You have to answer a question to get into heaven." Peter asks the first nun, "Who turned water into wine?" The first nun responds, "Jesus did." And bells chimed, angels sang, the gates opened, and the first nun entered heaven. Peter then asks the second nun who was in a whale's mouth for disobeying. The second nun responds, "John O' Butthole's here." And bells chimed, angels sang, the gates opened, and the second nun entered heaven. Peter finally asks the last nun, "What were the first words Eve said to Adam?" The final nun, while thinking about the unfair question, says, "Oh, that's a hard one," and bells chimed, angels sang, the gates opened, and the final nun entered heaven. I was hung up on the first nun entering heaven twice. I thought the joke was going to be hidden in there somewhere, so I went back and reread it. Ha ha ha. I've got one with 3 priests. 3 priests are out in a rowboat, sharing confessions. Now that we're out here where no one can hear us, I have something that is weighing on me. I am a thief. I steal from the offering each week. "Brother," says the second priest, "I too have sinned. For the last 2 years, I've had an affair with a married woman." There is a moment of silence before the third priest gleefully blurts out, "I'm a huge gossip and I can't wait to get off of this goddamned boat." I see we are gathered here today for some nun jokes. A priest and a nun are out golfing. The priest goes first, he lines up his shot, and hits the ball right into a sand pit. "God damn it, I missed," he said. The nun gets upset with the priest and tells him he shouldn't say the Lord's name in vain. The priest apologizes and watches the nun hit a hole-in-one. The priest then makes his second shot, only for it to land in the nearby lake. "God damn it, I missed," he yelled. The nun promptly reminds him again to not say the Lord's name in vain. The priest apologizes yet again and lines up his third shot. The ball lands just centimeters away from the hole. "God damn it, I missed," he screamed, throwing his club to the ground. The nun glares and says, "Now priest, you must not say the Lord," and almost immediately a streak of lightning bolts from the sky and strikes the nun dead. As the priest stood there in shock, he hears a loud booming voice say, "God damn it, I missed." Why did Barbie never get pregnant? Because Ken came in a different box. Why was Mrs. Pepper disappointed? Because Dr. Pepper comes in a can. I bought a fresh pair of kicks off my drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all week. What's the difference between a BMW and a hedgehog? A hedgehog has the pricks on the outside. Edit. Thanks for silver. What do you call an octopus with 2 extra arms? 10 tickles. And then I tickle the crap out of the mysterious man, and while he's distracted I run away with the money. If he's ticklish he might start laughing and give you the money anyway. 8 because he's an octopus, the other 2 were test tickles. By popular demand I'm starting a club for guys with erectile dysfunction. Please let me know if you can't come. What do you call an IT teacher that touches his students? A PDF file. Compressed 2. Trampolines were formerly known as jumpolines until 1975 when your mom first used one. Edit. I don't care about the money. I'm talking directly to original poster. I can't believe I wasted my free award on a trash meme 2 minutes ago when this existed. Don't beat yourself up over that lean tramp. A pastor coming home from church hears a boy shouting, "Damn fish for sale, damn fish for sale." The pastor approaches him and asks, "Why are they called damn fish?" The boy replies, "Because I caught them at the dam." The pastor is amused and buys 3 to take home for his family. He gets home and tells his wife, "Honey, cook the damn fish." She gasps and asks, "Why are they called damn fish?" The pastor explains he bought them from a boy who caught them at a dam. She laughs and proceeds to cook them for dinner. As they are eating, the pastor says, "Son, pass the damn fish." The son says, "That's the spirit, Dad. Pass the effing potatoes." I've heard this one slightly differently, one of my favorites. A priest goes fishing with a local fisherman. At one point, the priest reels in a huge catch, and the fisherman, impressed, says, "Look at the size of that effer." The priest is offended, so the fisherman backtracks by explaining to him that effer is the type of fish, a effer fish. So the priest, pleased with himself, takes the fish back to the church, where he runs into the bishop. The priest says, "Hey bishop, look at the size of this effer." The bishop is offended, so the priest explains that effer is the name of the fish. The bishop says, "Oh. In that case, I'll clean this effer and have the Mother Superior cook it for dinner." So the bishop takes the fish to the Mother Superior and says, "Do you think you could cook this big effer for dinner tonight?" The Mother Superior is offended, so the bishop explains that effer is the name of the fish. She responds, "Oh. Well, that's perfect, because the Pope just happens to be coming over for dinner. I cook this effer up and serve it as a special treat." That night, at dinner, they serve the fish to the Pope, who remarks at how incredibly delicious it is. The priest says, "Well, I caught the effer." The bishop says, "Well, I cleaned the effer." And the Mother Superior says, "Well, I cooked the effer." The Pope scans his eyes, slowly, across the table before leaning back in his chair. He takes off his hat and rests it on the table before taking a sip of whiskey and saying, "You know what? You female parts are all right." Personally, this is the funniest one. It has such great build-up. I actually laughed at that, so if I was the mystery man, I would give you that 1K straight away and get the heck out of there. How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman? 0. A man walks to the hospital and says that he has a brain infection and that he will die soon. The doctor says, "So, let's transplant your brain. Which brain would you like?" The man acts surprised that he can pick a brain. A millionaire's brain is $250,000. A brain of an athlete is $500,000, and a politician's brain is $1,500,000. The man says, "Why is the politician's brain so expensive?" The doctor says, "Unused, good as new. My ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better." Grunkle Stan is amazing. A ham sandwich walks into a bar. The bartender says you'll have to leave. We don't serve food here. A guy owns an ice cream shop. One day, as soon as he opens, a lady comes in and asks for chocolate ice cream. Guy tells her, "I'm sorry, I am out of chocolate ice cream." She says okay and leaves. About a half hour later, she returns and again asks for chocolate ice cream. Guy tells her sorry, still out of chocolate. So she leaves. Little while later she returns. Again she asks for chocolate ice cream. The guy again tells her he is out of chocolate. This happens several more times. Finally, she walks in yet again, and before she can say anything, the man says, "Lady, do me a favor. Spell the berry in strawberry." Lady says B-E-R-R-Y. Guy says good. Now spell the van in vanilla. L-V-A-N. G. Now spell the F in chocolate. L, but there is no F in chocolate. And the man says exactly. That's what I have been trying to tell you. Blind man walks into a bar. Ouch. Colonel Sanders calls the Pope and asks, "Hey Pope, I'll donate $10,000 to the Catholic Church if you change the Lord's Prayer to give us this day our daily chicken." The Pope says to the Colonel, "Sorry, there's simply no way the Church is going to change the Lord's Prayer like that." The next day Colonel Sanders calls the Pope and says, "Hey Pope, I'll donate $100,000 to the Catholic Church if you change the Lord's Prayer to give us this day our daily chicken." The Pope says to the Colonel, "Sorry, there's simply no way the Church is going to change the Lord's Prayer like that." A week later Colonel Sanders calls the Pope and says, "Hey Pope, I'll donate $10 million to the Catholic Church if you change the Lord's Prayer to give us this day our daily chicken." The Pope replies, "Colonel, you've got a deal." Immediately the Pope calls a big meeting of all the Church's bishops and cardinals, and he makes the following announcement. "Gentlemen, I have some good news, and some bad news. First, the good news. The Church just made $10 million in a single donation by changing the Lord's Prayer to give us this day our daily chicken." A soft level of applause is heard. The Pope then says, "And for the bad news, the Church just lost the Wonder Bread account." What does the Titanic and The Sixth Sense have in common? I see dead people. My daughter is so ungrateful. I bought her a trampoline, and she just sat in her wheelchair and cried. Personally, one of my favorites, so even if he doesn't laugh, at least I did. What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean? I didn't pay $300 to have a garbanzo bean on my face last night. I started seeing a new girl recently, and the first time she went down on me I said, "I hope you've got a good gag reflex," and she said, "Why? Are you packing 12 inches? And I said, "No, but it smells like a foot." What the difference between a joke and 3 dicks? Your mom can't take a joke. Two cannibals are eating a clown, and one says to another, "Does this taste funny to you?" Why don't blind people skydive? I don't know. But it scares the crap out of the dogs. I told my genie I wish not to die a virgin. He granted me immortality. I'll never forget my grandfather's last words, "Hold a ladder." What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball? Proceed to make gagging noises. What did one tampon say to the other tampon? Nothing, they're both stuck-up female parts. How is a spider like a grape? They both have 8 legs, except for the grape. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.